Hi, Lee Phillips here. Follow-on video. I want to talk about how to buy a house in an individual spouse's name, so they own it. And we have another video out on separating assets between spouses, and that's done for asset protection purposes. But if I have a house and it has a mortgage on it, okay, I quitclaim my interest in the house to my wife, and then she owns it, right? Well, yeah, technically she does, but when you get sued, when I get sued, they're going to get into court and they're going to argue, hey, wait a minute, time out. This is really his house. She's staying at home taking care of the kids, and she doesn't have any money to make the mortgage. He's paying the mortgage, she's paying the freight. Yeah, his name's not on it, but it's his house. So how do you get around that argument? Well, the courts have said that there is a value in staying home taking care of the kids. And if you don't think that's work, try it someday. So how do we get money to this spouse to pay the mortgage? Now, my name may be on the mortgage, and I can't probably get away with that. We wanted our house was paid for. My wife had owned it for years, decades, and we wanted to finance the house and get some money to go buy a lot is what we wanted to do. And the house was in her trust. You're always going to have it in a trust. Wait a minute, that means you have to have a her trust and a his trust. One spouse, two spouse. So you've always got to have the two trusts, but we want the house in the trust so that when this spouse dies, I don't have to probate the house I'm living in. So it's always going to be in a trust. And by the way, get my ebook. Just click below and I'll give you the ebook on how to use a trust. It's good. But how do we get money over to this spouse? Well, it's easy. I make a wage in my business. I make a wage working for Joe Blow big company. I get a check. I get a $3,000 check every month or every 2 weeks or whatever it is. I immediately deposit that $3,000 check in my checking account. Now, I don't spend a lot of money. I don't buy the food. I don't pay the mortgage. I don't do any of that stuff. So I get the $3,000 check. I deposit it in my account. Immediately, I cut a $2,500 check to my wife in her name. She puts it into her bank account. Now, that bank account is owned by the trust too, her trust. So I've moved $2,500 of my $3,000 over to her. And the courts have said if this is her money, she can buy the food, she can pay the mortgage, she can buy a dress, she can go to town, she can do whatever she wants with this money. If that's her money, then she pays the mortgage. She has paid for the house with her money. It is her house. Now, back to the story of when we wanted to buy the lot. So we go to the mortgage company and they say, time out, not going to have mortgage, can't do it, got to take house out of trust. We're not going to deal with it in a trust. Take it out of the trust, put your name on it, put his name on it, we'll give you the mortgage. And we're going, no, you don't understand. This isn't my house. You can't make her take it out of the out of the trust, put her name on it, and put your name on it. You don't have any ownership in that house. I don't have any ownership in that house. Why does she have to put my name on it? I will guarantee the mortgage for you if you want, but I will not put my name on that house. The reason is if the courts see my name go off, my name go on, my name go off, my name go on, then the courts are going to look at it and say, hey, wait a minute, this whole thing is a scam. This isn't really her property. She puts his name on it whenever she wants, takes his name off of it whenever she wants. This is their joint property. They both own it. So I will never put my name on this house. In the mortgage, we take it out of the trust, we get the mortgage, we put it back in the trust. Only it stays in her name. I don't want to be on the mortgage. I'll be on the mortgage as a guarantor, but not as a owner of the house. And you can go down, you can guarantee the mortgage for your kids and not go on the name of their house or on the deed to their house. That happens all the time. So don't let them bully you and put both names on. Never sign the mortgage with both spouses' names if you can get away with it. And on an investment property, I'll go in and I'll say, no, I'm the only one signing. No, we want both husband and wife. No, I'm the only one signing. My wife's a bitch. She'll never let me buy a piece of property. This ain't going to work. I got to do it now. So you are going to take and keep your name off of the house. Now, if you get divorced, well, she may already own the house, and it's her money that bought the house, and she's going to argue in court, my house. I got news for you guys. You're going to lose the house in the divorce anyway. She's going to get it. So in the divorce, that is an issue. I'm going to argue that we made the money together, sort of, and we're going to fight over the assets. But the judge could look at it and say, it's already her house. So I wouldn't do it if your marriage is risky. But if you're doing okay, then you will divide assets between husband and wife. We talk about that in another YouTube video. Now, don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell and give us the thumbs up and do all of that stuff. We appreciate you being here. This is Lee Phillips talking on how to get a house so that only one spouse owns it. Now, if you're in a community property state, forgot to say, community property state, you can't do it. So just kiss that off unless you're using assets that she already had. She, they brought into the marriage, they inherited, it was a gift to them or somebody. So unless that's the case in a community property state, you're pretty sunk. Actually, you can deed it to the other spouse and sign a waiver and do a bunch of things and stand on your head. California has a specific form that they use, and you can maybe get it over into his or her single ownership. Lee Phillips again, saying thanks.